First, our top stories. Armed policemen deployed to PDP house in Abuja as two factions fix meetings. Federal government condemns attack, vows to rescue abducted Kebbi schoolgirls. PDP and ADC fought for the government over Kebbi school attack, says insecurity now Nigeria's daily reality. Nigerian army confirms soldier killed in Lagos by mentally unstable man, says investigation ongoing. Federal government calls for establishment of Nigerian-owned aircraft leasing firms. On international scene, prosecutors demand life as ICC prepares to sentence Sudan axe murderer. And in sport, Germany crushed Slovakia to qualify for 2026 World Cup. Those are our top stories. Details coming up now. We begin the world news at 12 with party politics as security has been heightened at the People's Democratic Party PDP Legacy House in Abuja as two rival factions of the party scheduled meetings for the same time and venue on Tuesday. Armed policemen and their vans were sighted at the venue on Tuesday morning. The development has fueled tension within the opposition party following days of intensified internal wrangling. A faction of the PDP, backed by the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, had earlier announced that an emergency meeting of the party's Board of Trustees and National Executive Committee would hold on Tuesday, November 18, 2025. According to notice issued on Monday by the factional National Secretary Samuel Anyanwu and shared by the media aide or to the FCT Minister Larry Olainka on his ex-handle, both meetings were slated to take place at the neck hall of the PDP National Secretariat, Wadada Plaza, Abuja. Meanwhile, the faction loyal to Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde also fixed a separate meeting for the same venue and date, further heightening concerns over possible confrontation between loyalists and of the two blocs. The deepening division comes just days after the PDP expelled the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, former Ekiti State Governor Ayodele Fayose, and the party's former National Secretary Samuel Anyanwu during its national convention in Ibadan, Oyo State. The decision, announced before charged a crowd of delegates, followed a motion made by Chief Olabode George, former National Vice Chairman South, calling for their immediate expulsion. Away from politics now to insecurity matters, the federal government has condemned the attack on the Government Girls Comprehensive Senior Secondary School, MAGA, in Kebbi State, which claimed the lives of the vice principal and led to the abduction of 25 students. In a statement signed by the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, the federal government says security and intelligence agencies have been given clear directives to locate, rescue and safely return the students and to ensure that the perpetrators are brought to justice. The government expressed deep concern and solidarity with the families of the abducted students, saying it shares in their pain and remains firmly committed to securing the lives of the girls. According to sources, the attackers killed the school's vice principal Malam Hassan Makuku before abducting several schoolgirls. According to the minister, President Bola Tinubu has reiterated that protecting every Nigerian, especially school children, remains a solemn responsibility of the state. The government condemns the reprehensible attack on innocent students and the killing of school officials who were carrying out their noble duty. Meanwhile, the police disclosed that a combined team of additional tactical units, military personnel and vigilantes have been deployed to the area. The police said they have deployed operatives of the Danko Wasagu local government area of Kebbi State following the abduction. In a statement by the Kebbi State Police Public Relations Officer, CSP Nafiu Abubakar, those deployed are currently combing the bandits' routes and the nearby forest with a view of rescuing the abducted students and possibly arresting the perpetrators. In the same vein, the People's Democratic Party (PDP) and the African Democratic Congress (ADC) have condemned the attack on Government Girls Comprehensive Secondary School, Senior Secondary School (MAGA) in Danko, Wasagu local government area of Kebbi State. Bandits on Monday morning killed the son Yakubu Makuku, the vice principal, and abducted 25 students during the attack. Ini Emomobong, PDP National Publicity Secretary, said the incident reflects the alarming rise in insecurity across the country. He said the federal government, under the leadership of President Bola Tinubu, has preferred the politicization of governance over the protection of citizens. Emomobong said that government must accept responsibility for its failure to secure lives and property. He condoled with the family of the slain vice principal, parents of the abducted students, and the Kebbi state government. The former Akwa Ibom commissioner said recent abductions in Nasarawa, Plateau, Kano, and Katsina states show that insecurity is clearly not the hope promised Nigerians. Bolaji Abdullahi, ADC National Publicity Secretary, said the attack is another painful reminder of the worsening insecurity across the country. Abdullahi said the party has repeatedly warned the federal government to confront insecurity with seriousness and urgency, adding that the administration has turned a blind eye to the suffering of ordinary Nigerians. He said the abduction must not become a repeat of the Chibok girls saga of 2014. Abdullahi said the government that cannot secure its schools cannot claim credibility on its promise to protect Nigerians. He called on Tinubu to ensure the abduction students are rescued without delay and urged security agencies to respond with urgency, clarity, and competence. He added that the government must deploy all intelligence assets and strengthen coordination among security formations. Now, with the abduction of the 25 female students of Government Girls Comprehensive Secondary School (MAGA) in Danko, Wasagu local government area of Kebbi State, Nigeria is witnessing a resurgence of mass abductions as at least 145 people have been kidnapped in Kebbi, Niger, and Zamfara states in the past 4 days. The resurgence of mass kidnappings raises familiar political and security alarms as the country gears up for the 2027 polls. In the run-up to the 2023 general elections, abductions were rampant. A report showed that between January and March 2023 alone, 792 people were abducted across Nigeria. Many of these incidents were tied to banditry and criminal gangs, especially in the north. However, as the political parties are warming up for the 2027 elections, there appears to be a resurgence of the situation. Now, the Nigerian police force, in a statement shared via its WhatsApp channel, confirmed the abduction incident in Kebbi State, noting that police tactical units deployed within the school engaged the attackers, but the gunmen escaped with the abducted student. The Commissioner of Police Kebbi State Command, Bello Sani, reiterated the command's resolve to protect residents and urged the public to remain calm and support ongoing operations. The Kebbi incident come just 2 days after at least 16 vigilante members were killed and 42 residents kidnapped in separate attacks by bandits in the Mashegu local government area of Niger State. Also on Saturday, bandits attacked Fegin Basa village in the Safe local government area of Zamfara State, killing 3 persons and abducting at least 64 others. In another attack on Sunday, bandits launched a fresh assault on Sohuwar Tasha village in the Wonan Dorua ward of Maro local government, abducting 14 people, including 11 women and 3 children. The Nigerian army has confirmed the death of a soldier who was attacked and killed by a mentally unstable man while on internal security duty in the Imota area of Ikorodu, Lagos State. The incident has triggered widespread reactions after a video of the attack went viral on social media. Tragedy occurred on Monday at a military checkpoint in Lagos State after the mentally unstable man killed one of the soldiers stationed at the facility. The man snatched a rifle from the soldier and killed him. The incident happened in Agbowa community along Ikorodu Expressway in Lagos. According to a statement issued by the Acting Deputy Director of Army Public Relations 81 Division, Lieutenant Colonel Musa Yahaya, the soldier was struck on the head with a heavy log while attempting to calm a chaotic situation. The attacker, described as mentally unstable, overpowered the soldier before delivering the fatal blow. In its statement, the army extended condolences to the families, to the soldier's family, friends, and loved ones, describing him as having served the nation with honor. It also urged Nigerians to avoid circulating unverified information about the incident. The federal government has called for the establishment of indigenous aircraft leasing companies in Nigeria. The announcement was made by the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, who was represented at the 2025 FAAN National Aviation Conference FNAC held on Monday. According to him, indigenous leasing firms will deepen aviation financing and support the modernization of airline fleets. He noted that the FAAN's investment proposals, are structured to attract private sector participation through transparent public-private partnership frameworks. Keyamo emphasized that Nigeria is not only a large market but also a strategic aviation hub. He said that Nigerians' strengthened legal framework for aviation financing has created a conducive environment for local leasing firms, enabling airlines to access finance more easily or fleet expansion. On the prospects of local leasing firms, the minister added that with Nigeria's significantly improved legal standing for aviation financing, the environment is primed for indigenous leasing firms. The minister also highlighted other investment opportunities, including the modernization of airport infrastructure through the government renewed hope funding, the development of a regional maintenance, repair and overhaul MRO hub to retain billions in offshore maintenance, and the creation of dedicated cargo and logistics hubs to facilitate agricultural and manufacturing exports. You're still on to the World News at 12 on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Up next is our analysis segment. If you're just tuning in, this is Voice of the People, VOP 90.3 FM, and you're listening to the World News at 12. Here to help analyze our news item is Elvis Elimihele. He's a public and political and public affairs analyst. Mr. Elimihele, thank you very much for joining us on the news at 12.
Thank you, Solomon. How's your day?
I hope I pronounced the name correctly.
At least you tried.
As a broadcaster, we're told pronounce it correctly. Yeah, so
you've tried.
Let's go straight to the first topic for discussion, which is on politics. Obviously, the situation in APC is not getting any better. In PDP rather, sorry, is not getting any better despite the national convention that was held on Saturday and the expulsion of Wike and some other members perceived to be troublesome in the party. Now it looks like that's a beginning of different kind of issues with the party. Obviously, because of the conflicting judgments, whether the convention should hold or the convention shouldn't hold, the PDP still went ahead to hold the convention, which means there will be lots of litigation.
Yes. It's expected.
As expected. But now, it looks like a confrontation is brewing because, according to the information we have here, armed policemen have been deployed to the PDP house in Abuja as two factions of the meeting fixed a meeting. What do you think about this whole PDP issue?
It's the only area I'm not comfortable with is the imbroglio that is about coming up now at the National Secretariat of PDP. Otherwise, what has happened, from the preparation towards the convention, the court cases, and even the convention itself, till now, it's normal. Political parties are meant, these are normal. When you have rag tags, people that are not having the same ideology.
Is it normal though? Because we're talking about a party that before now was described as the biggest political party in Africa. They were the ruling party for 16 years. And when APC took power from them, we were expecting that, okay, PDP is going to give APC a run for their money. They're going to be a very strong opposition party. We saw the way APC hounded them while they were the leading party. We expected PDP to be the same thing, be like, of course, in a country where checks and balances almost not in place. It behoves on the opposition leader to be that checks and balance for the ruling party. What the executive and legislature cannot do. But to say they've lived below expectation is an understatement of the century.
When I say it's normal, look at the formation of political parties in Nigeria. Are they really formed under an ideological umbrella? Do they really have the same belief? Or it is a matter of let me get in there and grab what I can grab and I'll go with it. So that's what I'm talking about. So things of this nature are bound to happen when the political party do not really know their aims and objectives. The people who pretend to be the leaders of the political party are only there on selfish ground. Let me just get my own individually and move. Look at, for instance, Solomon. Look at the past presidents of this PDP who got to the peak of that party. Are they still there? They are no more there.
Which is one question I keep asking.
Yes, if Olusegun Obasanjo, former president Chief Olusegun publicly tore his card. We saw that. We saw Jonathan, even unfortunately, Yaradua died. We saw Jonathan since he lost the election.
We see in other countries when you see people don't retire for
they
politics.
Don't retire.
Obama still campaigns.
He campaigns for throughout that day for Kamala Harris.
Even the election that was just done 2 months ago.
You saw them all for their political party. That's to tell you that these are people who believe in their party and it become it's their ideology and it transfers from generation to generation. Everybody in the family, if you say I'm a Republican, I'm a Republican. If you're a Democrat, you're a Democrat.
If you're an independent, you're an independent.
But today you see that you could be a PDP in the morning, by evening you are an APC, by night you become a Labour Party member. So that's where the problem is in Nigeria. So that's why I said these things are bound to happen. They are bound to happen because there are no ideology, there are no aims and objectives. We don't know what we are looking for in our when we say we are politicians in Nigeria. We are only politicians because of according to former governor of Ekiti State, Ayodele Fayose, stomach infrastructure. Let me just get what I'm looking for and move. Whether the party collapses or not, it's none of my business. That's why we have the problem we have in PDP today, because the founding father who actually meant good for this party are no more there, and many of them are dead. So those people that are hijacked, like the likes of Wike and others, are not there because of the party any longer. They are there because they just want to make name and foster their own ego and interest on others. That's why you see parties are not talking of, I grab my state must be under my umbrella, and everybody that coming from my state must come through me.
Godfatherism.
Godfatherism has now become the order of the day. The founding father, we are not talking about godfathers. We have seen political parties like NPN in this nation and UPN and others. We never heard of godfather, but they had their internal crisis, but they settled it without getting to the public. Now PDP is watching their dirty lining in the public. The same people they want to meet in 2027 to vote for them. So how do you think the correlation of that will work? Especially when you are talking of check and balances. What are you talking about check and balances? This political party cannot even check themselves within themselves as leaders of themselves. How do they check others? So forget that individuals are now making statements, making statements as opposition leader. It's not supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be that the political party will say, this is our standing on this government that is the ruling government. But we don't have such. You will see presidential candidate now making their own statement, party now making their own statement, and everybody is making their statement. Where is the opposition? So they've given room for the ruling party to fester without any opposition. So that's what you are seeing. By the time we finish this imbroglio today in Wadata House, the PDP legacy house in Abuja, you'll see what will happen. Why will suspended members now begin to have a faction within the same party? PDP acted so slow and sluggish. Before now, they saw Wike has become a bull in a China shop. Why was Wike not expelled before this time?
Immediately after
losing that election of 2023. Why were they delaying? What made them to wait till this extent? Since he was not showing the olive branch towards the party to get peace in that party, the PDP should have done the needful.
But isn't it more complicated than that? Because it wasn't just Wike that was against the party at that time. I mean, it was a G5 thing. All the governors angered by
who are G5. PDP made G5. They became governors under PDP.
Yes.
That's why they got that name, G5.
Yes.
So who are they? Are they bigger? Are individuals supposed to be bigger than the party if the party actually know their ideology and their responsibility? Can you do that in ANC? ANC expelled Julius Malema, who was the youth leader during the apartheid time when they were fighting to get independence. When they saw that he was becoming an he was now acting an anti-party against the party, they expelled him. So if the party actually know their onions, they will know what to do to a member. A member cannot be bigger than a political party that actually want to form a government in a nation.
But not in this time where Wike was the sole financier of the political party up to the election. I mean, Atiku basically just disappeared and was enjoying in Dubai. And when it was time for election, he came back, spent some money, and became the party flag bearer, which was the genesis of this whole issue.
What did the Constitution says about the financing of a political party? Every rightful member, legal member, ought to have a contribution towards it.
But this was not a contribution there.
When they shifted from their right and allow one person to hijack the machineries, then he's not the one that is speaking because he has the money to finance the party. That's where that's why I'm telling you, an ideological party will not allow such to happen. And a party who knows that if this man is empowered to this extent, he will hijack the machineries of the party, will not allow that to happen. Everybody that says, oh, this is our party, we know how we form it, we know how to make contribution towards the oiling of the machinery of that party, so that the wings and caprices of that party will not be under one person. That's why I told you that they started missing it when they allowed it. We've seen it in Alimodi Sharif after they lost the 2015 election. Alimodi Sharif became an issue in PDP. For PDP to ease him out, he stood in as the chairman of the party, and the party almost dead. We saw Wike played a bigger role, and Ayodele Fayose. Then that was when they started relinquishing their own responsibility to individuals in the party, now begin to have their own strength. So these individuals are now grown to be bigger than the party, have now become monster in the party. That's why you are saying this crisis will not end soon, Solomon.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to end soon.
No, it's not going to end soon.
But is it really too late though? Because I mean, we still have 2 years to 2027. It's better late than never. The expulsion of Wike, obviously, it's not going to end there, as we said before. Litigation, but still, despite the litigation, there's still time for PDP to, at least the ones that are still there, to build up finances and everything in preparation for 2027.
Genuinely, they have gotten leadership now. no matter what, let's see how
obviously we don't even know how long those leaders will stay.
Let's see what the pronouncement the court is going to make on this leadership, that on this convention that happened in Ibadan over the weekend. You understand? Let us also look at it that even these so-called leadership that are making all this trouble, they have 2 weeks to go. The tenure of this executive ends in December. December is just 2 weeks from now. So every problem UK is using IAU to make in PDP and all that, we end by December.
But that's still a long time for them to even cause even more damage.
I mean, in 2 weeks' time, they're supposed to hand over. So why are these people who knows that their office, their tenure is almost has almost ended? Why are they making so much trouble? If there were no influence, if there were nothing behind it, that was behind it is what the PDP should be investigating. They should not be looking at this riffraff problems that are coming up now, going to the secretary. Why will he be facing another meeting for the same secretariat today, when he knows that the executive that were elected on Saturday said they are going to have a meeting just for them to hit the ground running? Why will Iron and his gang hurriedly fix the meeting for 11 a.m. when the other said our meeting is going to be for 2 p.m. which means by the time they enter today, they will not allow those ones to enter. So that will be chaos. So what we are going to see is that the police might seal out that secretariat today, and maybe both of them may not have access to it.
So talking about the leading fathers, the Obasanjos and the
Goodluck
Jonathans and all that. I'm wondering how bad will it get for them to come into the matter. I mean, they may have told their ticket, but I mean, they're still a legacy member in that party.
They are not relating with the party any longer. They are not relating. I expected somebody like Goodluck Jonathan, who just left not too long to be able to
and with the rumors that we heard that he's coming back.
We don't know whether he's going to come back under PDP or whatever. You understand? To be able to at least make some statements to douse this tension. Then I don't know how somebody like as respected as Mao Wamboa could play so low to the hand of Wike to go and be made a fractional BOT chairman for under Wike's fashion. I think Mao Wamboa has risen beyond that level in terms of politics and profession.
Things he has achieved in Nigeria.
More than that. So for him to have descended so low to go and join Wike, knowing fully where Wike is coming from in PDP and all the trouble Wike has caused Nigeria and Rivers people till now, I mean, it's an affront. It's a disgrace.
Well, but there's nothing money cannot do after all.
No. He is not a poor person. So whatever money that is,
then what should be? I mean, what should be the motivation at this time?
Those are the things I was saying.
Because if at this point anything that's going to be motivation enough for you to be causing the destruction of a party should be bags of money.
Bags of billions. We don't talk of billions any longer in Nigeria. We know that.
We still talk of billions, but in billions is in dollars, not in naira.
In naira, then there are publications that even the governors that are defecting are humongously
compensated for their defection.
So we are waiting for another one on the next tomorrow Thursday. Kefas is leaving. The same PDP that have made him a governor, Kefas of Taraba State, the governor of Taraba State. We have already heard that his foot soldiers already have moved. The Speaker of the House of Assembly and some of the members. So those are the pilot team. They have moved already. So your guy is coming in by Thursday. So when people are moving, defecting in this manner, I know too well that the system, the APC has a hand in it, but they should not allow it to be overwhelmed them. So the present leadership that just came out at Ibadan from Ibadan Convention should be able to galvanize and start putting their house in order. They may not get it all any longer, but let them be able to have some figments to be able to show towards 2027 general election.
What would have been a good thing there is, while PDP is in this predicament, this should have been a time for other political parties to raise up their game to take advantage of the demolition, for lack of better word, in PDP for them to become the main opposition party. But unfortunately, the
Labour Party is scattered.
Yeah,
PDP umbrella is torn.
The only party that looks looks slightly like something that looks like an opposition is ADC, but even them have their issues, and it's just been basically Peter Obi and Atiku bringing out pressure statement here.
Those are just politicians, former presidential candidates who are making statements on their own. Today, Peter Obi has no political party. As we speak, this moment, Atiku Abubakar has no political party.
Well, on paper, he's still in Labour Party. Talking about Peter Obi.
On paper, but we see that even the Labour Party itself is torn. If election have to hold today, who will sign Obi's electoral papers to be a candidate?
I mean, they have three different factions.
Because at the end of the day, they will go to court. So that's also dicey. So he has to have a stable political party to fly his ticket. Atiku Abubakar at the moment has no political party because ADC has said immediately after Anambra elections, which came last weekend, that Obi and Atiku should declare their stance as far as ADC is concerned. We've seen a week now.
But how do they even declare their stand when ADC have their own issue?
They have their own issue.
The old guard versus the new politicians.
The Gombe, the Nafiu Gombe, the former the chairman, has his own guard. Is saying that the one that is led by David Mark, they are usurpers. They came to hijack the party from them. So these are still issues. We saw when the secretariat that was launched yesterday, some of them were not there. Some of the big names we keep hearing in the ADC were not there. So ADC is, as we speak, it's not even an opposition party yet in Nigeria. That's why we are saying that where is that party that is going to give APC the run for their money 2027 general election? Is it there yet? If they allow these usurpers to continue in this manner, APC might just have a smooth say come 2027 general election.
Which some politicians will say, well, that's the goal in the first place. Destroy the other parties.
No. That's what political parties are meant for. You can't be singing the praises of your opponent when you are not in power. They will look for everything to pull them down. We saw what happened in 2024. I mean 2014 when APC was being formed. How they pulled PDP down to where we are today. After pulling the PDP down, they don't be able to get themselves together. Ike Koremadu's committee that was set up to look into the failure of PDP in 2015 general election. Did they not come up with papers? Who is analyzing it? Are they working towards the result of that panel that was set up? We saw more crisis coming on in PDP, which means PDP itself have not spoken the truth to themselves. This idea of grab it, I want to be there for myself and myself alone, is what is worrying PDP. All the others in PDP have not spoken the truth to that party.
Okay, let's quickly go to insecurity matters now. Where where do we go from here? This is looks like a repeat of the Chibok situation. One would have expected that after the pronouncement from Donald Trump would have scared the bedevil out of the federal government and some of these bandits, some of the herdsmen and whatever, and it looks like it was working, but looks like that scare was short-lived, because shortly after that they've made another splash. 25 students abducted and vice principal killed. What do you make of this?
It's a repetition of what happened in 2014 to April 2014. Once an election is coming up in Nigeria of this nature, we have crisis, resurgence of insecurity, and the what pains me most is that it's just innocent Nigerians that are actually the victims. We have seen this happen in 2014, and it led to the failure, Jonathan losing that 2015 general election. Tinubu and APC should walk their back. This insurgency that have just that started rising now will not abate if care is not taken before 2027 general election, and it will speak volume towards the re-election of Tinubu in 2027, because that was one of the major issues that the Northerners held on to in 2014 that led to the Jonathan losing that election. And they themselves now, who are now in power, were the one that said Jonathan was clueless. Jonathan was not fit to be president of this nation. For any president that, according to the constitution, if the president cannot defend, the constitution says the primary aim of the president is first of all to seek the security and welfare of his people. Now that Jonathan failed in it, he's not qualified to return as president of Nigeria. Tinubu now is in that same quagmire. He's in it now.
It's looking like they're having a taste of their own medicine.
Exactly, that's the karma. The karma law is playing out now. We want to see how he's going to, land in this one without him, having rough shoulders.
Except the karma is worse in this situation, and it's the Nigerian citizens that are suffering.
The Nigerian innocent citizens that are at the grass, that suffers in all this. Otherwise, we would have let, if it was affecting the politicians themselves alone, we would have let them to slug it out because they have never been truthful to us. But unfortunately, the young girls that are taken out of their hostel now, the same way it happened in Chibok has played out again now in Maga, in Kebbi State. The same way it happened to the Dapchi girls. The same way we saw the Buniyadi boys that were murdered in technical college, Buniyadi in Yobe, is playing out. All this one happened during Jonathan's time. Now it's playing out again. Now more, we might see more if care is not taken. That's what I'm saying. I don't know how Tinubu and his cohort are going to step into this insecurity before 2027 general election. Otherwise, we'll see more of it. And the Northerners will play the script back again to him against what happened in 2014 and what is going to happen, play out in 2027 general election. Go and watch out for it, Solomon.
And the big issue now, though, is we still have a president where these things happen and it is nowhere to be found. It's like trying to do the same thing over and over and over again, expecting the same results. Something like this happen, the presidency release a statement, and then the other security agencies to go to the site and to rescue, and then the security agencies release a statement. So security agencies have been ordered to comb the forest, and it just ends there. There is no national broadcast from the president. There is no the president's going there to see what is going on until lots of pressure, and then the president now decides to go to where the insecurity happens in the midst of fun fair where students will now be gathered to play drum and do cultural display, and it's like it's going on in circles. It's disheartening.
It's a shame because what you have just analyzed is the presidency say, okay, the military armed forces go after them. We've seen that those statements have never yielded any result in Nigeria.
No, whatsoever. And this is coming when security chiefs have just been changed.
Yes, it's a litmus test for the new security chiefs. If genuinely this present administration is talking about guaranteeing security for Nigerians, and that is the reason why he changed these security chiefs, then we want to see a new order. We want to see a new dispensation. We want to see how this new security chief will actually live up to their bidding. Because when those security chiefs, the former one, were changed last time, Nigerians said it is not because of Nigerians that President Tinubu changed this the service chiefs. It's because we heard about coup rumor, although they denied it. But now, if he's actually saying now that the former security chiefs were changed because he wanted better security for Nigerians, this is a bigger litmus test for these new security chiefs now. But then, so that they cannot tell us, did we not say that those ones were not doing well? That is why we changed. If at the end of the day we saw that the same way it happened to Chibok so many years till now, our guests are still in captivity and these ones are not rescued, we know that changing the security chiefs was just for him to perpetuate himself in power and secure himself and not to secure Nigerians.
But is it really a litmus test there? Because if analysis from security experts are anything to go by, this is going to be another soldier go, soldier come situation, because we keep hearing that the federal government knows how to end this insecurity if they want to. They know the people responsible. There is a list which we keep hearing, and for whatever weird reason, federal government have not been able to go after these people, probably because they are bigger than the governments, to probably end their political careers or stuff like that. If statement from so many other retired generals have come out to say the same thing. A lot of them even writing the book, their hands are tied. How do they arrest someone when the federal government has not given them the go-ahead to arrest these people?
Solomon, the issue here is that both the federal government, the Emirates, the political bigwigs in the north, they know the problem that are led to this insecurity.
They do know.
They know they are not speaking the truth to it. They know the cause and they know how to end it. But unfortunately, the insecurity in Nigeria has been turned to business. It will not end. These guys that came to adopt these children now, they came with logistics. We cannot take 25 children out of school without having the means to move them. And this means to move them are fuel daily. They have guns. They have ammunition. When I read this, so it said sophisticated ammunition. That was how it was qualified.
And there are military checkpoints.
And they would have passed some military checkpoints. And at the end of the day, you now discover that all these facilities that they have are being provided by some certain persons. It's not these guys that came from the bush to adopt these children that are the problem of Nigerians. The problem of Nigeria insecurity are those guys that are foiling them from behind, which the federal government of Nigeria have not spoken the truth to. That's why I told you that the federal government of Nigeria is culpable. If you sit there as the president, Solomon, the box sauce of your table, you must step on toes, because your government will be remembered for what you did. So, President Tinubu was the one that stamped out insecurity in Nigeria during unfortunately he only did 4 years, because you are going to start on top. People may not like you, but when people like you for what you have done, you come back to power, seamlessly, because people will say we need him, this is what he has done. Not there dressmaking it. What we have been seeing is that everybody come and they dressmake it and they make it like look fashionable. We are going to do it. The issue statement, like the statement you just mentioned, the federal government has told the president has told the armed forces to deploy their men to rescue these guys. At the end of the day, we see that it boils down to what we have been seeing. So if it is not working, let Nigerians know that you are tired, you cannot do it. Then you'll be eased that. If you can do it and you are signed to do it, you must do it in total. They're sitting on the line. You don't sit on the line. You must do it to the satisfaction of Nigerians, because you know why you are there. When he was coming, he told us he knows the problem of Nigeria. The problem of Nigeria has been, for some years now, has been insecurity. People don't go to work. People can't go to their place of work. People can't go to farm. Benue State has practically become an IDP state, a state that prides itself as the food basket of the nation. They are now being fed in IDP camp. So what are you talking about? And the killing continues. 2 years into 2 years plus into your administration now, we are not seeing any headway. So what excuse are you going to tell Nigerians in 2027 for them to vote for you, when we remain incapacitated in this same matter that you met us in, and you told us you know the solution, and Nigerians voted for you, and now the voting, you have betrayed it. If you betrayed, which means you are not supposed to go back there. So we cannot allow it to fester. We cannot allow it to continue. We must begin to, even if we don't have any opposition to speak to him, the press must speak, and we must continue to do our job.
That's why we're here.
Yes.
And it's situations like these that have gotten the ordinary Nigerians desperate for any kind of help, which why all of a sudden Donald Trump, the weirdest of the person, has now become like a perceived savior to Nigeria. Because right now Nigerians are looking for we are looking for any savior, any kind of. Nigerians are desperate.
Yes.
The insecurity, the economic situation, no food, for a country that is supposed to be a producer of food. Right now we have to export every single thing, because even the little food we used to produce here, as you said earlier, our farmers can't even go to farm.
They can't go to farm. You can't go to farm.
So you now see some Nigerians calling for military coup. You now see some Nigerians saying, "Well, welcome Donald Trump." Even though we know these will not even bring a good outcome.
No, those calls are out of frustration.
Exactly, it's the frustration we are talking about.
We were in this stage some years back when we were trying to ease out the military from politics. we were frustrated. We were like, oh, the military must go. We fought it. We were students then. Some of us were students. We were student union leaders, and we know what it took us. Some of us lost some years because we were actually saying we thought the military was our problem. But today we have seen that the military is not really our problem. Our problem is the leadership. Nigerians generally have this problem of leadership. The few ones that we have had that have had the opportunity to get there have not actually done the bidding of the people. They've only gone there to do the bidding of themselves and their family. That's what has continued till now. Donald Trump cannot solve Nigeria's problem. It's
Definitely
obvious.
can't.
It's just part of frustration that we are calling on Donald Trump. But is it not? It is the failure of a father in the house when his children are not going to school. It is now another father from somewhere that will not come and remind him that why are your children not in school? It's the failure of the father in the house. So if Donald Trump is the one that is reminding us that we have insecurity in Nigeria and that he's coming to assist us, it means we have a fake government in this nation. It's as simple as that.
Oh my God. Thank you very much, Mr. Elimihele. It's always a pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much for joining us on the news at 12.
It's my pleasure, Solomon. Thank you.
That was Elvis Elimihele, a political and public affairs analyst. And then for a quick look at what's happening outside Nigeria, prosecutors have called for a life sentence for a Sudanese militia leader convicted of committing crimes against humanity during the East African country's previous civil war more than 2 decades ago. The International Criminal Court ICC opened a sentencing hearing for Ali Muhammad Ali Abd al-Rahman, also known as Ali Kushaib, on Tuesday. The previous day, prosecutor Julian Nicholas had demanded the maximum penalty for the enthusiastic, energetic, and effective perpetrators of abuses carried out in the Western Darfur region. Prosecutors say that among his crimes, Abd al-Rahman killed 2 people with an axe. Abd al-Rahman defense lawyers who are asking for a 7-year jail term will present their case during Tuesday and Wednesday's hearings. Last month, Abd al-Rahman was convicted of 27 counts, including mass murders and rapes, for leading government-backed Janjaweed militia forces in the Darfur region in Western Sudan on a campaign of killing and destruction from 2003 to 2004. It was the first time the ICC had convicted a suspect of crimes in Darfur, a region that is once again seeing mass atrocities amid a vicious civil war. Abd al-Rahman has consistently denied being a high-ranking official in the Janjaweed militia, a largely Arab paramilitary force armed by the Sudanese government to kill mainly black African tribes in Darfur. Still on international news, UN Security Council has voted to favor a US-drafted resolution that endorses US President Donald Trump's 20-point plan for Gaza. Included in the plan is the establishment of an International Stabilization Force, ISF, to which the US says multiple unnamed countries have offered to contribute. The resolution was backed by 13 countries, including the UK, France, and Somalia, with none voting against the proposal. Russia and China abstained. Adopting it was an important step in the consolidation of the ceasefire, a spokesman for UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres said. Hamas has rejected the resolution, saying it fails to meet Palestinians' rights and demands. The Palestinian armed group wrote on Telegraph after the resolution passed that the plan, quote, imposes an international guardianship mechanism on Gaza Strip, which our people and their factions reject. Under the resolution, the ISF will work with Israel and Egypt, along with a newly trained and vetted Palestinian police force, to help secure border areas and ensure the process of permanently disarming non-state armed groups, including Hamas. And finally, on our sports news, Germany swept past Slovakia and into the 2026 World Cup as Leroy Sané struck twice and Nick Voltemade scored for the third straight match in a thumping 6-0 win in Leipzig on Monday. The win puts Germany through atop Group A and into next year's tournament. In the United States, Canada and Mexico, Slovakia finished second and will go into a playoff. Germany have labored past underdog opponents in this campaign, but were 4-0 up at halftime and humming in Leipzig. Voltemade continued his golden run with the opening goal. Sergio Gnabry added the second. Under pressure, Liverpool midfielder Florian Wirtz sparked two live late in the first half, laying on 2 goals for Sané in 5 minutes. Ridley Baku and debutant Arsene Ouedraogo scored in the second half. Germany's win also guaranteed the 4-time World Cup winners a high seeding that should protect them from an early clash with another of the tournament's big guns. And just before we go, here again are our top stories. Armed policemen deployed to PDP house in Abuja as 2 factions of fixed meetings. The federal government condemns attack, vows to rescue abducted Kebbi schoolgirls. PDP and ADC fought federal government over Kebbi school attack, says insecurity now Nigeria's daily reality. Nigerian army confirms soldier killed in Lagos by mentally unstable man, says investigation ongoing. Outside Nigeria, prosecutors demand life as ICC prepares to sentence Sudan axe murderer. And in sport, Germany crushed Slovakia to qualify for 2026 World Cup. And that's the world news at 12 on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. I am Solomon FM. Do follow our social media handles at VOP 903 FM. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at VOP 903 FM. Good afternoon and thank you for listening.